Hi, this is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is the first of two videos that we're going to do playing with the files from Tanya at Tatty Treasure over at her Patreon page, where you can sign up to support her, and when you do, you get I think I wrote it down somewhere, 660 images and extra videos and all kinds of stuff. Watch the overview, just a little 15-minute video that came before this, and you'll get an overview of all the pages that are included and, you know, where to go and all that good stuff. You'll also have the link of the Patreon page below the video, plus her Linktree link. I think she has Linktree. If not, there'll be a link to her shop and to her group. Okay, so now I cut out some papers to use, and we'll talk about the papers in just a second, but I cut out these two envelopes, and then I cut out these tags, and these two on my scan and cut printed out together. So I thought maybe I would fold them in half. I don't know. I may need another set of tags. You never know. Or I'll cut these in half. And then two sets of postcards. These are a little bit smaller. These are a little bit larger. Well, that makes sense. And so for all of this ephemera that we've got here, I printed out, we are going to, if you, or not we, but if you want to get the full kit that goes along with those, to go along with your Patreon free pages, the matching kits are the Cottage Rose, Junk Journal March, and Delicate Daisy Grungy Junk Journal. Down the Rabbit Hole. Now half of this is at Tatty Treasure Shop and half is at Collage Type. Okay. Midnight Meadow. Half of that's at Tanya's Etsy, and the other half is at Collage Type's Etsy. So that's going to be Tatty Treasure Shop and Collage Type on Etsy. And Butterfly Love Junk Journal and Butterfly Love Folio at the Collage Type Etsy shop, if you want to buy the full kits. If you just want all these great freebies, then just go to the Tatty Treasure Patreon page and sign up, and then you will get all 660 images, including all of these pages that we've used here. All right, so I'm going to throw those away now. Now, what I did was I picked out some pages that went together. So there's 4 rose pages, so I printed out all 4 of those. Then I printed out 2 of each, and then I printed them the same front and back. Okay, so that's those. Then I printed out some just kind of backing papers. So I printed out this rose-colored one, and this one, and it has some writing on it. I didn't print out any of the collage pages, and now that I think about it, I probably could have. And then a couple of the patterned brownish papers. Then this greenish one. Oh, here's the last one of the roses. No wonder I couldn't find it. So what I've got here is quite a few papers to work with, more than enough. Now, some of these are a little bit shorter than others because I took my initial printing, which had the borders on them, cut the borders off, printed on the back, cut the borders off. Then I realized that if I had left the borders on and just printed 2 more borderless front and back, that I would have had more paper. So what I did was I printed out another one of the ones with the border around it, and what I'm going to do is make a notebook. Then I don't have to go back to my computer every time. I can pick out the papers I want and then go to my computer and one by one print out the ones I want to use for whatever project I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to do a manila folder project We're just going to take a maximum of 30 minutes for each section. So we're going to score this. I kind of pre-measured, and we'll see. These are a little bit bigger. This is a legal sized manila folder because they're Amazon Basics, but they don't have the logo on the inside. And I also know that they're 14 3/4 inches long. So what we're going to do is from here to here is 4 3/4. So we're going to score this after we make guitar noises. Oh, that's not going to work. At 4 3/4. 4 3/4, and that should give us a score line right next to the tab. And then our tab is 5 inches wide. Score it here. Now this is a paper trimmer that you can buy a scoring tool for, and I did buy the scoring tool. Then I have a different paper trimmer that I'm using now, so I just left the scoring tool on here, and now I use it as my scoreboard, and it works out really well. So I'm going to go back at 4 3/4 again. And that should score me right in the same spot. That way I'm scored on both sides. Let's see if it worked. Why, yes it did. And we're going to go 5 more inches, so that's going to be 9 3/4. Oops. So we're going to go 9 3/4. Well, looks like a little bit more. Looks closer to 10. We're going to score it again just on the other side of the tab. And we're going to flip it over. And we're going to score it in the same spot, which is right there. Kind of cheated that time because it was raised up a little bit, so I knew where it was. Okay. So now I haven't really decided how we're going to fold this. Just kind of looking at it. And I'm thinking it screams trifold. So, since we scored it in 2 places especially. Let's see. This side has the indented side, so it's going to want to fold here. So let's fold this here. Making sure it's straight, Terry. Okay. Okay, and then score this, or fold this straight across, making sure it is straight, which I should have done it that way on the first one. Okay. And what we've got is we can fold it either way, and we'll have a little bit of a space here, so that's going to give us a littler front section and a smaller back section. So then let's take a look at this. We could have a really nice, let's fold it this way. Now that we've got it folded. And that way our pocket will be on the inside. So I'm thinking let's make that a big pocket because the front side is quite a bit lower. Oh, come on. Okay. Let's bit crooked. Oh well. So I'm thinking what we could do is we could possibly cut this to flip down. This is a pocket, and this is a side pocket. And then we could fold this together like this. And what if we folded this one like this? So that it opens this way, and then this way, and then that way. Why don't we try that? So I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to ink the heck out of this. You're going to want to ink it front and back, and inside and outside, and make sure to get all of your creases inked. I'm going to be using Vintage Photo. Actually, let's cut it first. Let's cut this one for the flip down first. It's going to be this one right here. So let's take our scissors and cut right down either side of our fold, like right next to it. You know, I'm thinking that we might, come on, scissors, do your magic. Okay. This is the side that's harder for me because I can't really see where I'm going. This is going to be a flip down. We might want to make, no, let's leave it as it is. Let's leave it as we planned. Now we might not get completely done with this in an hour, but you'll know what to do. There might be a little bit of papering left. Now, on either side of this, there's just this little teeny bit left, or on this side. So let's go ahead and cut that off. Okay. There we go. So now you'll have 3 pieces cut out. You'll have the notch cut out here, which mine's a little wider at the top than it is at the bottom as usual. So this is going to be our flip down. This will be our tall pocket. This will be our side pocket. Okay? Alright, so you're going to want to ink everything, even though you know you're not going to, oh, you are going to see this one, all of it. This one, and this one you won't see the inside of, so you really don't have to ink this part in here, or yes you will, this one, because you're going to see part of it. So just ink it all except for the center. You don't have to ink the center of the connected sections. Okay, well I'm going to put you on pause while I do mine and you do yours. So I got everything inked now, and the next thing that I want to do is put on my magnets to hold my flap up. So we're going to put, I just got some new magnets, so I have a ton now. I think I have like 120 because I bought 100. You can get them on Amazon. They're 10 mil by 1 mil. So that's 10 mm by 1 mm, 1 millimeter by 10 millimeter. So they're 10 millimeters around and 1 millimeter thick. That's what you want. So I don't know if you can see this, probably not. So we're gonna put this one here. I should have got my piece of tape first. I realized while we were on pause that I had forgotten to print out one of the collage pages to put on the very front. So I will do that between this video and the next video. And I didn't realize we had already taken up 17 minutes too. So all right, so what I did was, let me show you. I took the second magnet, the one that, and turned it so that it attaches to this one so that their polarity is the way it needs to be. Then I picked it back up. I put a piece of tape down with the sticky side up. And then I'm going to turn the tape this way because we don't want it sticking up. And then I put the magnet back down. Now all you have to do now is fold this up. I may have put that too high. Because of where we're going to paper to. Well, we paper. Yeah, I think I'm going to lower it a little bit. So I'll just take this one off and leave it laying up. And then we'll take the first one off and move it down. I just don't want to get one of them papered and then realize that the other magnet is where there's just supposed to be manila folder only. So now I'm doing the same thing again. And then you just rub on the tape. And that should stick it to this one. And then just finish sticking it down. And then with the paper over the top, the tape is all you need. Just Scotch tape to hold it down. Okay, so now if you're going to paper the tab area, which I'm not going to, then you're going to want to do that now. If you're going to paper across here, then you're going to want to do that now. Because you're going to see it, and once we start gluing things together, you're not going to be able to get to it to paper it. Let's see. So now, if we're going to make this a pocket at the top, then we're going to need to glue along here and along here. So let's flip this up. Let's flip this down. And this is shorter, so we're going to glue along this one and not this one. Okay? So let's run our glue along both sides of this shorter one. Don't go up to your tab. Yes, go up to your tab. Sorry about that. Start flipping them around and now I did ink on the end that's going to have the side pocket, and I'll tell you why. Because as a side pocket, you're still going to be able to see in it a little bit. Boy, I'm really messing up the width of that pocket. I was trying to glue as close to the edge as I could. Okay, so that glues this shut and this shut, and that gives us our top pocket. Okay, now, well, let's open this back up. To make this a top pocket, we're going to want to glue, or side pocket, we're going to want to glue across here as well. You're going to want to do it from this little notch straight over and then up and down. I apologize. My bad. Did a little bit better with the lines this time. Maybe it will Okay, well, except for going back to fix it. And then I put a big glob of glue right there. Oh, my glue's coming out everywhere. My glue runneth over. Find a piece of paper to wipe that off. Okay, so now we're going to want to put this together. And then we glue this across the top and these down the sides. And that will give us our pockets. Okay, and we've put our magnet on to hold that. Which seems a little crooked. It is. And what happened is that when I flipped this up, I didn't make sure it was straight before I pushed that magnet down. So I'm going to try that one more time. Okay, now let's make sure this is straight. Now we'll put the magnet down. And that should hold it straight instead of being over a little bit. It's one piece of tape that's had a little bit of work done to it, that's for sure. Okay, now we can start papering. Like I said, I'm not going to paper mine, and I didn't over ink it either. Do you know what I mean? I didn't ink it all the way down, and that's just a personal preference. Vintage photo to me on a manila folder makes it look dirty. So that's up to you, whatever you want to do. I hope my bracelet hasn't been banging around too much. I'm used to it now. It's got Van Gogh's Starry Night on it. Anyway, so let's decide what papers we want to use where. It seems to me like it might look nice with this lighter one in the center. And one of these roses on the edge. Now, not the one with the blue, I don't think, because that's going to clash in my brain. This one would be pretty. This white one would be even prettier. We'll put the white one here. And then we'll deal with the flip down. Okay. So let's leave our little border. And cut that there. And then we'll cut this here. Cut it long ways first. Just because that will give you the best scrap. Okay, and then we're going to have to ink it. This is throwing fuzzies off everywhere. Let's see if I can glue without it exploding. I don't know what the deal was. Normally it doesn't do that on these Sugar Bell bottles. Occasionally it will. Probably should not have the paper laying on top of the manila folder while I'm gluing it. Well, that didn't make sense. Of course I want to lay it on top when I'm gluing it, otherwise it wouldn't stick to the folder, but I should not be applying the glue to the paper while it's laying on the manila folder. Minor detail, but true. So we'll put this on here. Okay. We'll put this one on here. Now this one's going to go up further. So now do we want to make it the same? I think I do. I think I do, because I don't want to cut that notch and all that out and have just this part of a tab. You know what I'm saying? Sticking out. I'd rather have the whole tab. So let's cut this the same length as that one. And then we'll cut the width here. And these are all papers from the Patreon site. When you sign up, there's 3 different levels of support, so you can look and see. It is in pounds, because Tanya's in the UK, but it converts. I think she said $5 is $6.25, or 5 pounds is $6.25, or something like that. So you can kind of go from there, or you can just use an online exchange to find out what the exchange rate is. Calculator, exchange calculator, because it changes every day. So right now it looks like theirs is going to be worth more than ours for the foreseeable future. So it's always going to be a little bit more in US. Just like I believe it's a little bit more in Canada. No. Let's see. It's a little less in Canada. That's why people go there to shop, I believe. I live in Washington and I don't even know this. How can I not know this? So I live 4 hours from Canada. So, oh, that is banging around. Couldn't figure out what the noise was. I'll push it up there for now. Okay. And then we need to decide what to do on the other side. Do we want a matchy-matchy? I don't think so. Let's This would be pretty. Or do we want to go with one of the tan? I think we might. Let's have each section different. Maybe the lighter one with the writing on it. What about this one? Oh no, that won't work. Because if we turn it to make the writing right side up, then it isn't tall enough. All right, we'll go just a few more minutes. That way we'll get this papered. And then we'll go longer next time probably. Okay. I want to do the same here. Oh wait, this is the one I didn't want to use. No. Okay. This one looks sort of like the pattern in the background of that one. No, I don't like that at all. I think I want to go back to the white and do the white on this side as well. And let's make sure our flowers are facing the same way. That would be a little silly if they weren't. Remember, this is going to flip down. Okay, now our flowers aren't facing the right way because our brown is not. We want them to be the opposite way so the brown, you know what I mean, but facing out on both sides. We're not going to get super detailed on this. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can make it a simple folio to carry your papers in, you know, to take your notes when you're going shopping or some such thing. And you'll notice this didn't roll very far. There's a button on there, and it'll only roll as far as the button. See, it won't even roll that far because of my surface, but it'll only roll that far. So that way you don't have to worry about it rolling all the way across your table and off the side. Friend of mine, Joy from Junk Journal with Joy, told me that. I saw it on hers actually. Then I'll think about what I want to put where, which I haven't got that far yet. Well, that seems a little wide. How did I not notice that? It's because of the way I cut this piece right here is a little crooked. So I think I'm going to take this up and print out another piece and redo it. I'm not happy with that. I needed to have measured it from the width from the bottom. It actually must mean that I scored it a little crooked. So I'll set that over there, and I know to print another one of the white roses. So then the next thing we can do, this is wet, is if we flip this down, we can flip it over. Now this is going to be our front. So I'll print out one of the collage pages for that. Let's do the back in one of the browns. Maybe this one. I like this one a lot. I think I want this to be down here. Yeah, is there a tab there? There is. I'm just going to go to here. I want to go down just a little bit because I'm going to go down just a little bit from that one. So I want to go about to there. And then I want to go to there. Oh, I just did that crooked. I know I did. Let me remeasure this. I did it crooked. I knew I did as soon as I did it. I was like, da 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 da. Let me try that one more time. I measured it just fine, but the paper slid, and I felt it slide as I was cutting it. So I knew bad things had happened. All right. I was doing the center. That's why it was too wide. And that's going to be our cover. So let's put it over here. Ta-da! I knew I'd find somewhere to put it. Can't believe I messed it up twice. Now I need to make it shorter though, because this is the low end. See, that's why we needed that extra time, because apparently I cannot cut a piece of paper. Apparently. Well, that's good because this is higher than that. So now we've got the right. Well, we'll do these two the same height. We'll do this one the lower height. All right. Okay, I'm going to finish doing this. And then when we come back next time, we'll get the basics all finished up. And then you can, of course, use the fussy cuts and things that are available to decorate. We'll get the basics done. We'll get the pockets put in. And then you'll be able to decorate it whichever way you want. Because you probably were going to anyway, weren't you? Alright, well that's it for this video. And I'll see you next Saturday in the next video. And that will be just a second for you, depending on when you're watching this. And it could be a week for you. And probably a few hours for me. Okay, bye-bye.